There are many different styles of laminate flooring to fit the look of any home. When doing your installation, read the manufacturer's instructions for the correct information relating to your particular floor. Laminate floors are known as floating floors because they're not nailed down or glued to the subfloor. They can be installed over wood, ceramic, vinyl or concrete surfaces. To prepare the floor, we're going over the surface and removing small bumps and also filling any holes with a quick drying cement. This is a new house. If you were prepping an existing floor, you'd remove carpets and skirting boards and then repair bumps and imperfections to level the surface. For this type of laminate floor, a moisture barrier is required. Cut it to size, overlap the edges and use an adhesive tape to keep the edges together. The flooring should be brought into the room 48 hours before installation to become acclimatized to temperature and humidity in the area. To cut a floorboard plank, slip it under the last laid plank in the line and mark it with a pencil. Cut the floor plank using a laminate floor guillotine. The blade on this guillotine is blunt and so it's very safe to use. It's easy to set up, doesn't need electricity as a circular saw would, and there is no dust, so you can do your cutting inside, which is very convenient. The planks fit together using a tongue and groove system. The tongue on the one side of the plank slips into the groove on the other side of another plank. A locking mechanism locks the two planks together. Start in one corner and lay the first plank. This could be a full plank or a shorter plank depending on how you've decided to do your layout. Slip the next plank into the groove on the side of the first plank. Use a slight angle and press downward until the joint locks into place. Keep the line a comfortable distance away from the wall. We'll slide it into place later. Continue to lay planks in this line until you reach the opposite wall and measure the size of the plank needed to fit the gap. When row 1 is complete, assemble row 2. Now the first plank in row 2 will be a short plank as we used a full plank to start row 1 and we need to stagger the joints. Once you have your short plank as the starting plank on the left, use full length planks and join them together. Cut the end board to size and fit it into place. Lay a few more rows without joining them together. We'll do that later. Our manufacturer suggests a 3/4 inch or a 12 centimeter expansion gap to allow for the expansion of the floor in the hot summer months. So place a few spaces into position to create the gap. Now we'll join the second line of planks to the first. Bring the two lines together and raise the second line at a slight angle. Slip the tongue into the groove and push the tongue firmly into the groove. Drop the line onto the floor and close the gaps. If you have a tapping block, you can use that, or a short piece of floor plank also works well. When preparing for the job, it's important to be aware of house design. Plan your layout so that the plank lines move away from the windows to prevent joint shadows from showing. With the two first rows locked together, join the third row to the second and continue to work in this way down the length of the room. A good tip in a long room is to run the planks down the length of the room. Often the pattern on the planks will not easily match up, and some boards are lighter or darker than others. Check the patterns on your plank. If they do not match easily, a good idea is to place one light plank and then place a dark plank next to it. If you stagger the light and dark planks in this way, you'll end up with uniformity which is pleasing to the eye. Lay rows of planks down the center of the room to be fitted into position later. Working in this rhythm will make the job faster. And then join all the rows together to complete the job. A pull bar is very useful when you need to make adjustments from the side. When you reach the end of the room, use a short piece of floorboard to mark the gap between the second last row and the wall. Remember to leave the expansion gap between the wall and the last line of planks. Number each plank so that you can put it back in the same position and cut along the line with a jigsaw or similar tool. Now fit the second last line of floorboards into position and then fit the last line of cut planks into the slot against the wall. When you get to the doors, cut an expansion slot into the door frame. A handsaw works well, or a special tool can be purchased. Mark the floor planks accordingly and cut the shapes with a jigsaw. These edges can be tricky and will take a little practice and patience. Be sure to leave a 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter gap for the transition strip in the middle. This is an awkward part of the job, so allocate a lot of time to it and do it slowly to avoid making any errors. Next, we'll fit transition strips to each doorway. Transition strips are available in metal, plastic or wood and are cut to size and glued or screwed into position. The final step is to refit the skirting boards and the job is done. Laminate floors come in a variety of colors and designs. Choose one to suit your lifestyle and to match the furniture and design of your home.